So we've been sitting here for like 23 hours waiting for everybody.
Starting from the sitting
I'm getting
position.
tired.
Hey, real quick, sorry. Is this on purpose? Somebody wrote in that they did this as a joke for me.
What?
The left arm of the chair is like broken.
No, I had that yesterday.
Why did you
no, it
want
was
this
pain in the
for-
ass. No, I
what
didn't
is
want
this?
it.
You're supposed to, like-
No, this is much
What's
better.
the point?
I don't know, but I got the better chair. So we've been all over, obviously, Conrad Murray in the last 2 days. Interesting. The defense. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I can tell you that the defense lawyers, Conrad Murray's lawyers, had a plan. We're told that he was going to surrender today. And the only way he could surrender today is if they file the charges, because he's not surrendering in the abstract, so they had to file the charges. There was a lot of things going on after we put up the stories yesterday. And I'm not sure why this intense secrecy in this case. I mean, generally they do keep it secret. There is intense secrecy in this case, much more so than not only I've seen, but other people I've talked to involved in all of this say that they've seen as well. And at any rate, they were planning on surrendering him today, and it looks like it's not going to happen today. We talked to people in various areas of this, different areas, and it's not going to happen today. My guess is it is going to happen tomorrow. That's my guess. I can't tell you for sure, but based on 2 things that I've heard, I think it's going to happen tomorrow. They have already we're told the DA has already communicated that they will ask for $25,000 bail, which is the standard bail for involuntary manslaughter in LA County. So this will already be posted. So what will happen is that assuming that he surrenders, Conrad Murray will go to court, he'll surrender, they'll take him in for booking, and then he'll post bail immediately and get released. So it should happen within a couple of hours.
His lawyers actually said that that's the plan, and he wants to go back to work in the meantime. I mean, literally bail, get out, go back to Houston and start working again. But I really thought, from what you're talking about, this secrecy, I really was under the impression that this was such a big case in Los Angeles that the LAPD would go and arrest Dr. Murray and make this big... I just feel like everybody who knows this case and knows it's Michael Jackson wants to see Dr. Murray in handcuffs, walking, either into a car or... see, if he goes to court and surrenders himself, it'll be in a courtroom. Now, we don't know whether or not we'll be able to have a camera in there. So we don't know if you'll ever see it. And if they book him, they don't necessarily have to put handcuffs on him.
Usually they allow cameras in Division 30, so my guess is we'll be able to see. It should happen in Division 30 downtown, and they usually allow it, so I think we're going to be able to cover that. Obviously, we're going to try to cover that live.
But they don't have to put him in handcuffs right there in the court.
Well,
he can walk into the back, and then you don't get the whole... I don't know. I know it's not for us, for our amusement, but I feel like that you got to have a photo or a shot of Dr. Murray being handcuffed.
I can't be too specific about this, but I can tell you that what you just said was not out of the question in terms of the original planning of all of this. Okay. And it's surprising in various quarters, the way this is coming down. More on this later. We can't really tell it quite yet, but it's an interesting story. This whole thing is an interesting story. When TMZ first started, weren't you initially hesitant about using the internet for it, or were you hesitant about celebrities? I was just hesitant about going into the internet initially. I thought, I'm a TV guy, I'm not going to do the internet. It was like, and then I started thinking about it, and what turned me around was, I realized one day, if I did this, and if we created a news operation, we wouldn't have a publishing cycle like a newspaper or a scheduled time to go on the air, which you have on a TV show. You publish it when you get it right, and that frees you up in so many ways. And that was really that simple a thing. Create a news operation, and when you get it right, you get it up, and it's as simple as that.
It's a really funny story I have to do with that. Me and Chad both worked for Harvey at Celebrity Justice. You guys all know that by now. When Celebrity Justice was over, there was a space there, and I think it was in the summer. But there was a space where we basically, in this business, you don't have a job.
We were all
out
leaving.
of work.
Everybody was leaving.
Okay, and Harvey was discussing whether or not they were going to do TMZ. So I got a phone call from Harvey once they decided he was going to do it. Me and Chad were at the river. We're literally in bathing suits and board shorts and sandals. And Harvey says, well, we're going to do this thing. And it had no name at the time. It was like, so we'd like you guys to come in, both you and Chad, and let's talk. And me and Chad are like, yeah, we just got here. Like, we're going to stay at the river. And Harvey was like, Mike, I know you're young. Get your back here right now because we need to talk and have a meeting about what's going on. And we left the river and came back.
I have no recollection of that.
Yeah? It was like August, I think. And we came back, me and Chad, and we came into we all had like a meeting about what possibly the job would be for us for TMZ.
And 6 months later, we still didn't know.
Mike, Chad's on the phone. He says, call him BS on your story. He never didn't work.
What do you mean didn't work?
Well, no.
He worked the whole time in between?
He said he has always been employed by Harvey. Right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Did he work in between? I didn't. Oh, well, that's screwed.
This is all a fog to me.
He didn't work?
He did top 25 celebrities in between. Did you know that?
25.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, yeah, but
I thought he was out of
No,
work,
but
too.
there was a time when I was
I
leaving.
was.
When I was leaving Telepictures.
If you call me, you were out.
Well, I was making a deal with another production
That's
to do
what
a
I
production.
thought. Well, okay, I was out of work. So, glad Chad got paid during that time, but I assumed that we were both out of work at the same time.
Oh, I just wanted to comment on yesterday's TMZ Live where someone told you it was not cold in southern Canada. It's freezing. I am from Winnipeg, just above North Dakota. Of course, if it's above North Dakota, it's like 98,000 degrees below zero there. And it is minus 32 Celsius this morning. See, I told you. This person was saying, you idiot, they could do it in Canada. They're doing it in 2 weeks. They can't do it in Canada. The situation's pecs will freeze. Okay. How's the weather in LA? It looks beautiful today.
It's about to rain, though, all weekend.
I never get outside, but it seems nice.
I got calls from people who said they're laying out today.
Really? Well, it's beautiful today, but
It's
apparently...
going to rain on Friday.
Yeah, it's coming. The rain's coming.
It's going to sprinkle.
How long can the Jersey Shore cast stay relevant? I think it all depends on how they produce the show. If, it's all in the production of the show. They have a very talented director who was actually our director in Celebrity Justice, Brad Kreisberg.
Coolest guy.
And he's really cool. And Brad will help that along for sure. Yeah. So,
Well, look at the hills. I mean,
props to Brad.
look at the
I'm
hills.
so glad Brad got that.
Well, it's weird. I never knew that at the beginning, and then all of a sudden...
You know how I met Brad? Brad was Brad and I did Moral Court together. He was the producer. He was the director on Moral Court.
What's Moral?
It was a show that we did with Larry Elder. It was a fun show. And so that got canceled, and then I went over to Telepictures, and I was going to do Celebrity Justice, and I ran into Brad at a restaurant. Kind of a cheesy restaurant, I might add. And he came up to me and he said, I'm looking for something. And I said, oh. I said, what are you eating tonight? and then that's how we hooked up.
Well, it's funny. I was watching Jersey Shore, and I found out Brad was...
He was in the show.
Yeah, and then I saw him. I don't know if they meant to do that, but it's like Martin Scorsese. Like,
right, where
he put himself in like one frame where they passed by in the bar, and he was in the booth. And I thought, that was cool. I'd have put myself in this show, too. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it was pretty funny.
Does TMZ have any photos or video of Dr. Murray in Santa Monica or from LA yesterday? This is driving me crazy. And I mean, I wasn't even going to talk about this.
I was going to say, are you going to do this right now?
We missed it by 8 seconds.
Yeah.
We saw him drive away.
Our camera guy was there. He came out with his bodyguard. They got in the car.
Personally, I don't think we hustled fast enough.
I wasn't there. I don't want to call the camera guy out, but if you can, here's what I always say. If my camera people always call in and say, we missed the shot, and I say, well, what'd you see? And they say, well, I saw, this person get in a car and drive away. If you can see it, you can shoot it, is my mentality, I guess. And I know that's not true all the time, but
the camera guy,
can see him.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, I don't want to call him out because he's good, but
I was upset all morning.
Well, and the wire just came out when you were in the back. Chernoff, who is one of Dr. Murray's attorneys in Houston, confirmed that he's at a friend's house in Santa Monica, and he's afraid to come outside because the paparazzi's all there.
Right. No,
this is where we were.
We saw him. We saw him yesterday. I know.
Anyway,
you win some, you lose some. Is Tila Tequila really pregnant? God only knows. Mike, have you lost weight?
I'm the same. I fell off the wagon a little bit. I'm doing well. I've changed some of the habits, so I lost about 12 pounds, stayed right there. So I need to step it up and start working out, but I don't have much time to do that. So.